Well, I think that we did some of the things that we wanted to do today. We wanted to get off to a good start, get some points up early, and be stingy at the defensive end of the field, and just kind of grind after that. So, went according to game plan. We, I thought we had a good first half. We kept our turnovers down today. We were better on man up than we have been the past couple of games, and all in all, the way it turned out with everybody, a lot of guys getting a chance to play in the Carrier Dome today. So I think everybody leaves with a smile on our face and mission accomplished.
I think we'll be back here next week.
What's that?
I think you'll be back here next week.
Denver lost.
It's a great question. I don't know. I have to sit down and look at all the results. I know Denver lost today, so that gives G-Town an AQ. So I'd have to look and see what it's all about. It all depends on how they're going to count the losses. I think with our wins, top 5 and 10 and so on, we have a pretty good argument.
Playing on senior day in a game that might be a must-win type situation. I guess what was it like with all the emotion and you guys jumping out to a nice 6-0 lead?
I think we you kind of take care of all the emotional stuff at the beginning of the game. We have our nice walkout. It's really nice to have your parents with you. But you got to kind of turn that off and then turn the game time back on. So it was nice to have it here. It was nice to get the win on senior day. But like I said before, we were treating it like a playoff game. So if we lose, we're not making the tournament for sure. So now we kind of just wait. But it was awesome to get a win on senior day. I know a lot of the guys are happy about it, especially get some momentum going into the playoffs.
And Tom, you mentioned you treated this like a playoff game today. Right when you stepped on the field, how much did it feel like a playoff game, and how did that impact your intensity in the cage?
I would say that, like I said, I was treating this whole week like it was my last week, and nothing's for sure, nothing's given to you, so you kind of got to go out and get it. And Austin Fusco said that before we went out on the field. He's like, nothing's going to be given to you, so step on the field and go take it today. So that was kind of my mindset. I was like, I'm not going to let, if we were to lose, I'm not going to let my last game be because I didn't try my hardest. So.
And Brendan, obviously you had the assist to Fusco and him saying that and all that. Do you think that just, all you seniors and guys that got on it just played with that extra intensity today because you knew you had to win?
Definitely. I think, Dom said it best. We had our little moment before the game, but, as soon as the game turns on, we're just another player. We're out here to win, and, obviously there's a little bit more of emotion as seniors, and, knowing this could possibly be our last game in the Dome, but, we just kind of treat it as like just any other game, and just came out with the intensity, and like Dom said, we treated this game as a playoff game all week, and, I think that helped with our preparation and, helped with our hot start for sure.
Coach, looking at the end of the game, you mentioned getting some new guys on the floor and really seeing them able to get some opportunities. What was it like to see them out there? And is Colgate, when it gets to that point, is it kind of a tune-up at the end of the game just to try to get them some reps?
Well, a lot of things going on. You've got, we want to take care of business first and win the game. And fortunately, with the score, we were able to get some other guys in, get some seniors in, and get some guys who haven't played a lot this year. We just haven't been in games like this too often, maybe the first game of the year. But and also, you want to keep your starters healthy. To leave them in with the score the way it was and potentially get one of them hurt, that's not a great decision by the coaching staff. So for all those reasons.
Build some more.
Jacob has been right there with the other guys. I've talked about the competition, the depth in the midfield, and he's been practicing well all year long. So he proved what he's capable of doing. He played well.
Brendan, three man up goals for the man up unit on the day. I believe 2 of those you had a hat trick on the game. What were you seeing out there, and what was making the man up unit click too?
I think we just kind of put a little more extra emphasis on it this week in practice. I think we haven't been exactly where we wanted all season long, so we wanted to be patient, move the ball, and work for our best shot, and that's what we did. And fortunate enough, we were able to put it in. I think where we. 100%, and that's good going into the tournament, especially to have that. We can't waste those extra opportunities, and that's good for us going forward.
Jamie, when you came in, you mentioned Denver losing and really just seemed kind of excited about that. Were there any high emotions in the locker room when other people found out too, or is it just kind of something that you found out on your way in here?
Our manager, is kind of the guy for all that type of information. So I saw him right outside before I came in, and he was giving me the details. I don't really know much about all the seating and stuff like that, but he seems pretty on top of it. So I'll take his word, and I guess it's good for us if he says it's good for us. So.
It's not good for us. It's what happens is Denver's probably a playoff team either way, and by Georgetown winning in that game, they have an automatic qualifier to the tournament. So it takes another slot away from someone. This time of year when you're being considered for selection, you want as many teams that are guaranteed to go to the tournament to win their conference play, and that just keeps more slots open.
Jamie, I'm going to ask you about last year's postseason run. Being one of the younger guys on the team, what did you learn about that? Playing Postgame against Yale here and then going on the road, and tell me what you plan to use that in this year's postseason run.
It's kind of, you just got to keep your emotions in check at all times. You're playing for your life, so you can't get too antsy and nervous. You just got to go out and trust each other and focus on what you did in practice all week and not let that just go with the wind when you get on the field. So we did that against Yale last year, and we won the first round. But at Towson, we were kind of antsy, and it didn't work out so well for us. So we got to focus on that every week that we get this year, and try to win as many games as we can.
Coach, you were mixing it up at the face-off X throughout the game. You had both Seth and Danny taking a couple of the draws, and Seth ended up winning the same amount as Danny, despite taking a lot less. What kind of led to that, and what do you think he's been struggling with, and against Colin in particular today?
Well, I think that when you go out and face-offs, you can't just switch after 1, 2, or 3 face-offs. You've got to let your guy get in the rhythm, figure out what his opponent is doing, and see if he can adjust. And frankly, I was somewhat disappointed with some of the wing play, because the ball, it wasn't like he was coming out with the ball clean all the time. It was a scrum, and it would come out and we'd miss a ground ball, or they'd get to the ground ball first. So I think that had to come into play. And Seth's been a nice 1-2 punch for Danny. Can do things a little differently, handles the ball and his stick a little bit better. So it's just to try something different and see if, many times you go with the second face-off guy, he wins a few because the other guy's used to doing something a certain way, and Seth changes it at him, so it's not uncommon.
And Brendan, down the final stretch of the game, it seemed as though every time Colgate would put something up, your offense would respond immediately. Did those quick Colgate scores give you guys a little bit of oomph on offense to just try and push it a little bit harder?
Definitely. I think lacrosse is a game of runs, and every time a team scores, you want to answer immediately to kind of stop that run, and that's something we've been trying to do all year, and luckily it worked out today, and they weren't able to get anything going because we were able to stop momentum, and that was huge for us.
John, I don't know if it was your intent, maybe it was, to put this group into the schedule that it ultimately became, just in terms of level of difficulty. But having viewed the whole body of work now, do you think sort of the gauntlet they went through this year better prepares them to maybe outperform whatever seed they may end up with on Sunday?
Yeah, I think it helps prepare us for this time of year. The schedule that we played, I know that we had coming in, we had a number 3 strength of schedule in the country. And I think I said right from the first press conference, if it doesn't kill us, it's going to make us stronger. So I think that when you play a schedule like that, you're playing against a Tiger every week, and to be able to compete and then win against those types of teams just helps you get better. And those are the playoffs anymore. Everybody's good. Everybody's good that makes the playoffs.
How much better is your team, today than it was in March?
I think we're a lot better. I think that we know who we are more than we did obviously in February, March, And we've settled on some guys in certain spots. I think our midfields have been pretty consistent. Our shorties have been pretty consistent with the poles, and I think we're a lot further ahead, obviously, than we were in our first game.
And Coach, was there anything you said before the game or in practice this week about today being a must-win game, or do you think that the players kind of knew that?
We wanted to approach it that way. Just because we wanted to get the most out of them. This was a very hard week to practice. There were, I'd say, every day at practice, we were probably missing 10 to 15 students because they were in finals or review sessions or whatever it was. So practice was fairly fragmented, and as a coaching staff, you have to schedule. We look at all our players, the time slots that they have tests, and then we have to change times of practice to get the most players there. And then we also have to adjust practice. There's some things we literally have to go over or teach twice because there could be a man-up player or a man-down player not there that day. Then you got to go ahead and do it the next day while he's there. So there was a lot of that going on this week. So to come out and get a W like this was good.
Brendan, with everything that your family's been through over the past couple of years, you transferring from Denver and everything with Jagger, what does it mean to have him in the crowd today and you have such a big game on your senior day?
It's pretty special. My family's been there for me, since I was a little kid. They haven't missed very many games, and the ones they did, I was in Denver. So to come back here and for have them, at 90% of my games has been awesome. And to have him in the crowd is probably honestly one of the biggest Orange fans there is. I think every day he's looking, but he's probably gonna miss the dome more than anybody. I think every time he drives into Syracuse, he knows he sees the dome. He's in Syracuse, and that's his favorite part. And he's definitely gonna miss this place, and I'm gonna miss this place. And it's been awesome.
Well, just when it's time to recruit, make sure he gets back here in an orange jersey.
Thank you.